I probably decided I would take over the farm at the drop of a hat by the time I was halfway through high school. It started off with machinery, playing with fire trucks or tractors or bulldozers or whatever. And, when your grandparents, that's what they do for a living is they drive tractors. Like, that's pretty cool. I gardened a lot with my mom as a kid. My mom was a horticulture major in college and was at home with us when we were younger. And we always had veggie gardens and flowers. And there was one garden behind the house that was James's garden that I managed, which was about as complicated as spreading zinnia seeds and keeping the weeds out. But there was ownership there and I loved it. That love and the love of plants really came from my mom. And my wife and I still love gardening. That's that love of just growing things and getting a little dirt under your fingernails is still very much there. But so I feel like that's, for me, was twofold, right? There's the legacy end and the looking up to the grandparents and loving the idea of farming, I'll say. You can love why you do something, but do you love what you do? And I think the what you do part of it came from very much the young age gardening with my mom type experiences. A lot of it had to do with that innocent naiveness that I had. I never saw any of the hard things about farming. I never experienced a dad who was out till 11 o'clock at night doing field work or stuff like that. I never experienced it. And so I only saw farming with rose-colored glasses growing up. I just got to sit in a tractor seat. The first time that the naiveness really started to wear off was when I built my first cash flow to see what this business would look like on paper. So I sat down, I'm like, okay, I have payments on these items. This is how much I think I can help sell my corn for. I hope I can sell my corn for. This is what it's cost me to grow it. And I looked at the number at the bottom and I went, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna make any money, And here you are trudging at this thing, working it as a second job, hoping you're gonna make a buck. And that's where I kind of realized oh man, I better really, really love what we're doing here because there's a real chance that I might do it for fun some years. Sarita and I got married about not quite a year ago. And all of a sudden being out in the tractor at midnight, 1 a.m, isn't as fun as it was when I was just James. Life is bigger than that at this point. My wife helped work some ground this spring on a field of ours, and already I look at that and I can almost imagine the dirt glowing just because she touched it. You get to dream together. What are we going to do to put our fingerprints on this place with the hope that there will be someone after, just like my great-grandpa hoped that would happen. It might not happen in our lifetime, but just like the rest of things in farming, we can't cut any corners between here and there or it won't be an option. When it comes down to picking equipment and tools you use on the farm, knowing what you have is worth a lot. I don't need another variable. Between Mother Nature and my own decision making, I have plenty. We have an Enduraplas fuel boss, and then we also have 2 flat bottom storage tanks that we put fertilizer in. That fuel boss keeps me working. I don't have to drive equipment all the way up to the yard. And those liquid storage tanks, they save me money where I can hold fertilizer on farm, and with a 10-year warranty, I know I can stand behind them. God's first order to man is to till and to tend, right? And there's something kind of precious about that. Adam and Eve in the garden, Genesis, the whole 9 yards. And it looks very different. They weren't running around with tractors and they weren't spraying on fertilizer and storing it in tanks behind the shed. But as farmers, it's kind of a baseline. I feel like as a big picture, society goes, yep, we need doctors, we need farmers. People may not understand what happens on a farm, but there's that understanding of it's an essential thing that society's built on, and it's, I got to feed my family before I try feeding the world. I have that conviction, but also we're trying to feed the world. Handling the same soil that my great-grandparents did really leads back to that connection, I think, is a good reminder of the fact that we owe this to people who are here before us, and we do owe this to whoever's here after us too, to steward it well while this is our time to be here.